How we all doing? Hope everyone is having a good start to their week. Yeah. Oh, okay. No problem. No problem. I just did the copy paste, but yeah, that's fine. How we all doing? I mean, it's not something I don't think people are really too eager in it. So it's not. It's not. I'm not that much of a hurry. It works. Yeah. So yeah, basically, I'm good. I'm good. Welcome to the stream, everyone. Good to have you around. So, like I said, Tuesday, I'm going to try and make it a steady stream. I really don't want to just come on stream and just play games. Of course, there is the usual like tournament coverages that I do, but I kind of like want to have streams where we just steady. So, if you guys have specific topics you would want us to study, you can always let me know. Um, um, times I might do like common topics that everybody should know. But today I'm actually going to look at a specific line. Lebanon. I'm actually going to look at a specific line in the London system that that I don't play, but it leads to positional and sometimes aggressive positions that I'm interested in trying out. So we're going to look at the London and we're going to look at the Nidor Sicilian, right? We're going to look at those two and see what we can learn. So we'll look at the opening. We'll try and lab it out. I don't know about watching videos and stuff, but we'll try and lab it out with the engine, and we'll play some rapid games, and then we'll play some games and then analyze them. Oh, okay, I get what you mean now. Yeah, I get what you mean now. Wait, should there be a space in between them? Did I? I might have to do that later. Give me a second. I don't want it to show on screen. Give me a second. Let me see. I don't know if it's either I paused it because I wasn't sure. Yeah, so that's basically what we're going to do today. But we're going to, as always, start with the puzzles. We're going to start with the puzzles, and after we're done with the puzzles, then we'll get into the groove of things. Once again, I keep forgetting the background. Like, I always forget the BGMs. I really don't know why. I just keep forgetting the BGM. I always forget the BGMs. Um, Give me a second. Yeah, I turned it off. Yes. Oop. Had it. You can try it again. Okay. So that's about it. I'm gonna be listening to some. Oh. Okay. So it's back. It's back on. I think it's back on. So I think it's. Oop. Yeah. So basically that's it. I I basically did the exact same thing. Okay. So let's go to the puzzles. Yeah. Okay. So let's start with this. Okay, so we have an instant like checkmate idea, but this move stops us. So I think the question here is, Can we successfully avoid everything? I think just bishop takes, right? Bishop takes, check here, doesn't do anything. Bishop takes, rook takes, queen comes in here, doesn't do anything. Yeah. And that's cool. Yeah, I think just bishop takes. I don't know if there's any other thing I would want to play here. Down, my opponent can just keep repeating. Up, my opponent can just mess me up. I think it just takes. And then just take here. Oh, okay, so this is what I didn't look at. Now the problem here is wherever you move, your opponent has this idea. So you have to move in a square that this is not an idea. Now my question is, where is that actually, right? Because you do have this option, you do have this option. Both. Oh, actually it's this option. You don't need to think anymore. The moment you notice that when you come here, your opponent has this move, you just think it's this. Yeah, so you should just stay away from any checks. Wait, actually if we come in here, our opponent has this move. Then if we go up, yeah, if we go up, that's about it. So it should be here, because here runs into this, and he can use any of these squares to continue checking me, right? Because I would go here, check. If here still there's check here, I lose the rook, so it has to be here. Then if he comes in check here, I can run away here, and that's all fine and done. Also, there's a scammer in your Discord server. That was a scam. I thought I deleted that. I'll have to check that out again. Okay, so here it is. Yeah, so like I was saying, yeah, so this is the only good square, funny enough, right? Because you go in here, you get hit with this. Let me turn off the engine again. You go in here, you get hit with this. You go in here, the exact same issue. You go in here, and I mentioned this, right? And even if you jump here, you get hit with this, and this guy's in trouble, right? And the sad part about this is once your king moves and takes with check, the king moves. Actually, I'm going to think that like even if you block here, then you lose your queen. That's actually very sad. That's actually very sad. Okay, so that was a nice one. We had a good start today. I'm playing as white. I thought, yeah, because okay, that's fine. That's fine. So what do we do here? Simple move is this. Sorry. G3 is a very simple move. Attacks the queen. Queen doesn't have a square to go to. What your opponent can do is to play this move, or even play knight takes. But with knight takes comes rook takes. Wait, no. Knight takes and then queen just takes, right? So there's no issue there. Pawn push. I'm playing some instrumentals on. Okay. So I think it's just this. I'm also like wondering if a second moving 2 squares rather might be the way, but I think it's simply just G3. I think it's simply just G3. I can't see any other thing. Okay, so let's say G3 knight here. Still queen takes. Right? It's just G3. If G4, then rook takes. Yes, exactly. Yeah. And then this is becoming a threat. Sorry, and this is the problem. So I think it's just g3. Trying to see if there's any like trick move I've not considered. Queen takes, rook takes it. I think we just win the queen, right? There's nothing more enticing than winning. Oh wait. Wait. How about we take this guy first? Yes, knight can now take, but then we can always come back with our queen, and then we can take this guy, and we are having an attack on our opponent. Right, so if our opponent takes and then we take, we also have an attack here. I think that's what we have to do. I don't think taking immediately is the right way to go. I think we want to take the rook first, or maybe we want to take the rook with check, then after he takes back, then we take. Because with this he's not forced to respond, but with this he's forced to respond. Take the rook on f8 rather. Yeah, we are still trying to see which one is good. The reason why I'm also leaning towards the rook on f8 is because the rook on f8 is with check, right? With this, maybe, I mean, even though like with this move my opponent can make free moves, it doesn't look scary. Like it feels like I'll be fine, you know. Because like if I take here and let's say my opponent plays rook takes, I just take again, right? And if I take here and he plays knight takes, then my queen just comes back. So it's like either ways I'm fine, but I think the engine might want this one because it's more forcing. So let's go for that. Am I really sure that's actually the best? Like takes here, rook takes, pawn takes. I have this. My opponent has this. But then I have this threat of winning this. Yeah, he would, if you take, wait, he would play king takes f8, but yes, if you take on f6, he would take the knight, he would take with the knight, and to be an exchange. If I take here, he takes with the knight, and I take the queen, and I'm targeting this guy, right? You still have a problem there. I think both are fine. Like I think both are. I don't think both of them are. I don't think it's. Wait. Give me a second. So wait. If I take here, and he takes with the rook, isn't that the same exchange? Because if I take here, he takes here, I take here, it's the same thing, right? I'm confused, but let's just go with. I mean, it's always good to do it with checks, right? Yeah. So let's look at that. I actually want to look at that. Like, are both just fine, or is one just better? Wow. Okay. So what makes this wrong? Like queen takes h. Okay. Yeah. That I was not considering this. This was not on my mind. Like, if I saw this, then it would make more sense, right? Because now I lose more. I lose more than my opponent, right? My opponent has an extra piece, I don't. Yeah. Because I couldn't, like, if my opponent was, for example, taking here, like if I took here and my opponent, for example, took here, it's still fine for me. If he takes here, it's still fine for me, right? So my assessment was correct in that area, but I just completely missed it. Yeah, so Tadiwa says he will take with the knight. Yeah, exactly. You take the knight. I don't know why that was not on my mind. I was just thinking that, oh, this is what he's going to do because the knight is defended, right? I wasn't looking at that. Yeah. What is happening? What did I do? I mean, straightforward, I think the move is just takes. But like, why am I just getting endgame puzzles? Right? King was saying, you were saying if queen takes f8, you play king takes and not rook takes. Yes. That's what you were saying. And again, now the reason I don't want to play pawn push is because my opponent has this move and now he gains the opposition. So immediately the move on my mind is to take. Now the second consideration is to not take and to just play this move. If my opponent takes and I take back, he goes this way, I come in this way, then he can just gain the opposition again. Or pawn push, pawn takes, king f4, d takes e4, king takes e4, king to f7, king here, king e5, king e7, king f5, king here. I still can't break through. Yeah, so I think I just take. I don't think I can break through there. And I think if I were to play this and get that line, it might be a draw. Might be, I don't know. And I know that Lichess doesn't like draw puzzles, so it could just be pawn push. It could just be pawn push. Sorry, it could just be takes. Okay, what if my opponent takes here? That I haven't considered. Then I take the position. Right, because now I can infiltrate and even create problems on the queen side. I don't think it's winning. I think it's drawn. Right? King f4 takes. It's his turn to move. If he moves here, it's a problem. So he'll move here. Then if I come in, then he takes the position and I have to make a move again. Wait, are you saying I can triangulate? Okay, so let's say I come in here, my opponent comes in here, I come in here, he comes back here, I come in here. Still it doesn't work. I don't think it works. I think it's just this. We can look at the other line for sure. And now we take the opposition. So if he comes in here, then we just infiltrate this way. But I think here we can jump in this way. But I don't know the direction we want to go. That's what I've not figured out yet. Here, let's say our opponent goes back. Do we just come in this way and try and win this one? Or do we ignore this whole side and go this way? I think we take this one and let this pawn be like a thorn at his side. Then whilst he's dealing with that pawn, then we can deal with these guys. I think that's the case. Right, so if he goes this way, then we come in this way. He goes in this way. We come in this way. He comes in this way. We take this one and we give him a tough time. Right, because you can try and do whatever you want, but we eventually leave with this pawn and then but we can always look at the other line. Yeah, so pawn push is just a draw, yeah, because you takes, and like I said, king f7. I have to turn off the engine again. And the point is, if you come up, your opponent just comes in this way, then it's no matter what. Tadiwa is killing it. Tadiwa is killing the puzzles. Okay. Two more. We are playing as black. Interesting question. Check. Jack from Crass, how have you been? Good to see you. I think we lose if we do that. Wait, no, we may not lose. We are in the square of the pawn. Nope, we are not. I was thinking, we are in the square of the pawn. Is this a draw? The first move I'm looking at is this move. Queen takes, king takes, pawn push. But with this move, we get into the square of the pawn, right? And we can eventually like reach this. And this is where I feel like it becomes a draw. Because our opponent can also catch up with our pawn. So I'm wondering if there's a like check here difference that we can go for. This is a long calculation and I could get this wrong because this is long. Okay, so we have to use different colors so that we all get what's going on. So we play this check. Our opponent plays this. We take here. Then our opponent would possibly play this move because that's the farthest pawn. We come back with our king. Let's say he pushes again. We move with our king again. Actually, then pawn push cannot work. So he doesn't do that. He instead, after he moves, he does this. That way, when I can't even come here, I have to come in this way. And then he goes, sorry. Then he goes, oh, come on. Then he goes here. So now my opponent has a pawn on here and here. My king is here and his king is here. Okay, so in this scenario, I can't capture. So I can now start pushing my pawn. And let's see. My opponent plays his king now here. Pawn push, king here. Pawn push, king here. Pawn push. I win. I win. I win. I win. Hey, thank you. I appreciate that. Tadiwa is confirming my suspicions. Yeah. So it's a whole lot of lines. The lines is so that the stream doesn't forget this. Yeah. We are in the square of the pawn. So yeah, we are looking at this. Okay, he goes with the king first. What that means is that we have this move. Remember, we are in the square of the pawn. We need him to make this move. We shouldn't rush here, because in this situation, if we rush here, our opponent is getting closer into the square, right? He's getting into the square of the pawn. So we want to start our advance. When he does this, then we can think about this move. And we still focus on our idea, right? Wait. So pawn push here, pawn push here, and then we just win. Yeah, so we push. So you see how that works, right? When you consider the whole scenario, things begin to make sense, right? So we need certain moves to make certain moves. So his moving of the king will not confuse us, right? His moving of the king will not confuse us because we know what the conditions are for him to win and for us to, like, you get it. So you could see a combination of ideas here. We realize that, okay, our opponent has to play this line. From here, we realize that our opponent would have to play this move before we move our king. So if he moves his king here, it's not threatening us in any way. What we are looking for is this move. Of course, we are looking at how the position changes and adapts. Then we go this move, right? Because we still have that freedom. And now when he makes this move, we comply. If we ignore it, we are creating a problem for ourselves, right? If you've watched the Searching for Bobby Fischer, you know what happens in these types of positions, right? Because you make the queen, oh, I got my queen first, and then you just lose the queen, right? If you've ever seen that whole funny line, right? Very, very nice. Very nice. I actually like this puzzle. Though I hate endgames, I like this puzzle. If that did not deserve your subscription, I don't know what would. If you haven't already, please remember to subscribe. It does help me out. Okay, first things first, I see pawn push, and if takes, I have this move. It's a good one to teach the square of the pawn. Yeah. Oh, Chestnut, you missed it. That was yesterday. Yesterday I played viewers. But don't worry, on Friday I'll play more viewers. Oh, Tuesdays are steady stream. So all we are going to do today is just steady chess. But maybe Chestnut, if you stay around, what I can do is that I can play some casual games with you. Or I can play some casual games with the stream based on the lines we have learned. So we can also do that. But it wouldn't be a streamer versus viewers. It's more of a learning type thing, right? And yeah, that's. But I'll need you to be of a decent rating. I don't want to just be crushing people, even if I don't understand the opening. If you can understand that, give me a second. And someone might be asking, what's a decent rating? Well, from Lee Chess, it might be from 1500. No, 1500 is like 1300. Give me a second. I'm trying to. So I think that's a good way of doing it. Berto, how are you doing? Good to see you. I think that's what we'll do. I think that's a much better way of doing it. So I'll study the opening so you guys can see the flaws in whatever it is I'm doing. Then I'll play against you guys, and I think that'll be a very good way of approaching the whole study. So I think that's what we'll do. Rather than just me going on ranked, I think that's what we can. Okay. So like I said, first things first, I see pawn push. Oh, actually, this guy made a very good point. Let me save this puzzle. I can use it for my students to learn square of the pawn. Yeah. Pawn push. Yeah, in case you're wondering, I do coach. I mean, if you are 1800, you are like 90, you are in the top 90%. Srihari, just okay. So Chestnady, I will do that. Yeah, so Srihari, I'll take challenges from you guys. But first, let me finish the study we are going to do, and then we'll get into it. So it might take like 30 minutes to look at the lines. So just stick around. You'll definitely get the opportunity. I think that will help as well. So pawn push here is the first thing on my mind again, because if king takes, I see the instant infiltration. Now, does it net me an advantage? That I don't know. Actually, wait, it does. I just saw the whole line. I saw pawn push, king takes, rook takes, king comes in here, rook comes in, check, king comes in this way. Then we have this move, attacking the queen. That's a crazy fast line. Okay, but what if my opponent does not comply? And then let's say he goes back. Do I still just go takes with the ideas of this? That's where it gets complex. That's where it gets complex. I wrote coaching, not coaching. There's something wrong with me. Thank you, Starman. That helps. So I think it's pawn push. I don't really want to consider any other thing. I think it's just pawn push. But the problem is I don't see the advantage of pawn push. Right? If my opponent moves back, I don't see the advantage of pawn. If my opponent takes the pawn, I see the clear advantage of pawn push. So that's what I kind of have to figure out, right? So whenever you're thinking about lines, that's basically what you have to figure out. I don't think anything else gives me a decent advantage. Maybe at some point bishop here may be useful, but at this point it's not. So pawn push takes. Let's confirm this. Takes again, check. The king can't come in this way. He can't come in this way. He has to go back. We have rook check again. He goes back. Then we have rook takes, attacking the queen. Our opponent can play rook. Oh, this is so complex. It's f3 without a doubt. But yeah, the future line is what I don't see. And I mean, this is a 2300 weighted puzzle, so it might go 6 moves deep. And I want to go beyond like the lines. I want to actually figure it out. So what am I thinking something wrong? So wait, f3. Oh, could it simply be f3 if king takes, knight jumps in, check, and then we go back rank? Could that simply just be it? Nah, because queen comes in here, check, and wins. So I don't think. So pawn push, king takes here. King goes back. Check again. King goes back. Doubling here may not be the move. It may not be the move. But my opponent can play queen takes. And if I go this way, then the queen takes. That's annoying. Pawn push, king takes, check, king comes back. What am I missing? You solved it. Give me a second. Give me a second, Tadiwa. Give me a second, Tadiwa. Takes, no. Takes, check, takes, check. King comes out here. Check. King comes in this. We can play rook, but then this rook also comes. Then we have check here. He hides this way. Oh, and then we have knight, right? That's too far-fetched. Okay, let's go through the line and calculate the rest later. Okay, let's look at this. You know, and this is the thing, we're going to be calculating him taking, and he's just going to move back. But I think I've figured it out, right? So my opponent has to play this line. There are other things. So f3, king takes, rook takes, king goes back, rook check, king comes back here. I don't think this place works for my opponent. Then we take here, attacking the queen. Our opponent may defend. Once he defends, we have bishop check, which forces our opponent to go this way. And then we simply have knight. That is stupid. That is so stupid. So the other line is, okay, what if he just goes back? That's what I've not figured out yet. Pawn push, what if he just goes back? Bishop check, king comes in this way, and I don't see anything. I don't see anything. Okay, so wait, pawn push, rather, after king goes back, I think the move is just rook takes h3, because we are threatening checkmate. No, we are not threatening checkmate. I can't figure this out. Yeah, we have knight e3 later, like Tadio, like, yeah. But what if he doesn't accept it? That's the annoying part. What if he doesn't accept it? Right, pawn push, king goes back. What if he doesn't accept it? Check, king goes back, rook takes. He has an annoying move here with like rook takes here. So I'm not so convinced. Like I'm not so sure about this move. So confusing. Rook takes h3 is so dicey because of this. Like, this is what scares me, right? Because play here, rook takes, you can't actually get access to this square. So he has the ability to play rook takes here, and that's what I've not figured out yet. Because once he plays that, there's an attack brewing on me, and that's what I've not figured out. What have I missed? I double the rooks on the H file. Like, I'm considering that, but again, isn't losing this guy a big deal? Like, I'm seeing the lines you are mentioning, but like, maybe I can't, maybe I'm struggling to visualize the board, but it feels like my opponent just gets me from that point, right? Because pawn push here, rook takes, queen takes, sorry, rook takes here, rook h to e, rook e to h1, rook e to h8. Then my opponent just has check here, right? And I don't think I can dodge forever. Can I dodge forever? I guy sure mate can't be stopped. He has no attack. But I'm saying, like, can't he just check me to a draw? Or you think I can actually run away and hide? Like, I see that, I'm just not so convinced. Again, this is the move. It's not like I'm not sure that this is the move. But it's the follow-up. Like, are you guys that convinced that he doesn't have follow-up? He may not, like, attack me to win, but can't he just check me to a draw? That's my question. Can't he just check me to a draw? Okay, let's play it out. Okay, if he takes, we solve the whole position, right? If he takes, we solve the whole position. That is not even a debate. So we just play rook takes, right? We just play rook takes, right? We just play rook takes, right? Yeah. But let's look at that line. Like, if he plays king takes, we've played this whole variation, right? If he plays this, we have this. Then we go here. If he comes this way, then we simply play checkmate, right? We figured this one out, right? But here. Okay, so let's look at this line, because I'm really not convinced about rook takes h3. Rook takes h3 is really the move. Like, again, my opponent can play takes here, and if we double up, I'm like, doesn't he just have pressure? There's no draw. That sucks. That sucks for my opponent, right? I mean, the plan is just to simply get here and then it's checkmate. Yeah, I could, like, I get it, but it looks, what I did not realize is this move, right? I did not realize that this move actually existed. You know, I did not realize that this move existed. So check, and then we come in here, takes, and this is still winning, right? This is why I hate chess. That's why I hate chess. Oh boy, that was a long think. That was a long think. But this line is actually very funny. The line we actually thought up is very funny. Like, if your opponent is like, nah, I don't want to lose my queen. It's so funny to see this line. It's so funny to see this line. Oh boy. Okay. So let's go into the study. I hate this. I hate this. Once again, if your PC starts lagging, it's not you. Whenever I load a screen or whenever I turn on my engine, my PC begins to lag, or the net begins to lag. So that's what's going on. Okay. So yeah, there's this line I'm interested in the landing system. Then we're also going to look at the Najdorf, which is also an opening I'm now learning. So we just look at something I know. so that it's very quick. Then we'll look at something I don't know so much. I've played a bit of the knight off, but I don't know it so well. And this is the line. Basically, in the landing system, it's extremely good. Oh, okay. I'm still learning it. I don't like it that much because it makes me feel very uncomfortable, especially when my opponent plays f3. Of course, f4 is a move, but f3, g4, that is very uncomfortable for me. And I'm not used to the queenside attacking lines, so that is also another one. Yeah, so mostly in the landing system, when you meet this scenario, it's considered optimal to just do this. And one of the points is you have this pressure on your opponent's kings, right? Of course, your opponent can easily deal with it, but it's something to consider, right? But I'm trying to go outside of that, and I want to play this line because I think this is very positional. So this is kind of what we want to look at. This is kind of what we want to look at, and we'll take a brief look at it. So one of the most common ways sometimes my opponents respond is to go queen to d6, and oftentimes I simply go this way, and this is normally the style I play. When you're growing up, you like to play the accelerated dragon. You are more comfortable with the positions, but you could go into knight whose white has run. Really? It takes away some of white's weapons. I mean, isn't the knight off just stopped by... We'll get to it, but isn't the knight off, like with all Sicilians, isn't it stopped by Alapin? Right? I think everything is just stopped with the Alapin. Alapin just stops. Anyways, for me, when I used to play, when I solely played e4, that was my... It's all about the e5 output. We'll get to the... Please, let's not drift. We'll get to the knight. Everybody's interested in the knight. Okay, let's look at this line. So we'll look at this line for a bit. Then I'll take like 2 challenges from any of you guys. But we'll have to make it 10 plus 0. 10 plus 5 would be 2. We'll make it 10 plus 0 and I'll try and maneuver the opening. So you can be looking at the lines and everything, and if you figure something out that is what do you call it, if you figure out a way that I'm not considering, you can play it against me and we learn together. So yeah, this is the line I'm looking at. We play takes takes. So the most common line I've seen is this, attacking the pawn. Engine is saying either play queen here or queen here, but I more or less like playing this. And I get that the bishop is not here and I have lots of light square weaknesses. So yeah. So maybe rather than playing bishop here, we can play a sort of Jobava landing structure as an improvement. That way, if takes and we take back, when queen here comes in, this move is not so bad. I prefer to play bishop to g. I prefer to play bishop g3 immediately when the bishop b6 in the landing. Yes, that's the optimal thing to do. That's the optimal thing to do. I mean, that's what I always do. But again, I want to add different positions. I want to like increase the positions I know. And I like, for example, the hold on this is one of the things I like about the position. And sometimes it can transform into a very strong attack. So again, I don't know why the engine is so opposed to g3. Why is it so opposed to g3? Okay, let's say b6. If you play a Jobava style, I want to go like b6 and h4. Okay, I hate engine lines. Let's stick to something that's more humane. Again, I would want to, if I want to spend more time, like off stream, I'll look at this line with the engine for sure. And again, h4 is not that odd of a move, right? And to kind of explain it, sometimes when you do get, for example, in the way I was talking about with this, you do sometimes, like for example, get these positions, sorry, where if your opponent castles, you go h4. So h4 is not like a strange move, but in the position that it's being played is why I find it strange. Exactly. It's not something that I can easily find the timing for. Okay, so the point is, Engine thinks that it's much worse to play this. Sorry, this and this. After Queen comes in this. I think the whole point of this is maybe Queen comes in here, but I'm not so sure if that's what the Engine is thinking about. Because I think this is just fine, right? I think this is a well-known problem. Or this is actually good for black. It's actually good for black here because I don't have the dark squared bishop. Okay, I guess so. I guess so. But what about if I still let him take the pawn? Is it still bad? Oh yeah, yeah. The bishop is that big of a deal. Okay. Yeah. Okay. So wait, then what do I do? Is that why? Oh, so that's why I prefers D queen to D2. Oh, okay. So that's why. Okay, so now it's beginning to make sense. So if we play this, our opponent does have queen to B4. In which case we have to defend this way. And we're already in a bad position. Okay, okay. Now it begins to make sense. So I'm combining ideas from other London games. I treat a London bishop as with 4 instead of 3. The light squared bishop, yes. It's a key piece for the London system. But oftentimes when my opponent likes to tries to trade it off, I actually oblige them, right? Let's say c4 is the move sometimes. Or those who don't play c4, let's say this. This is actually a very nice position. I like this one. This one? I mean, depending on the position, but primarily I value this light squared bishop higher than this guy. I actually have no problem trading off this guy than this guy. I feel like all your aggressive potential especially is with this guy. But if your opponent maybe decides to go queenside, then you have a point. Right? Especially when you get these variations, when your opponent tries to like copy you in the London system, you go this way, they go c3. You go here, they go queen here. You jump in this way, they go this way, mostly. Here. This in this line in particular, this bishop is like a crazy piece. With that, I would agree with you. Not that big of a deal. Again, if you trade it off the way I'm looking at, you have a very solid structure. And there are times where you want to play f4 with your knight in the first place. So I don't really feel... I'm sure the games we are going to play are going to make me eat my words, but I don't really struggle with the loss of this bishop as compared to this. Like, I really feel like all my power is lost, and I'm simply playing positional with... I'm also like that, to be frank, but I've learned to fight my edges. Okay, so now we understand why this is pure. So I'm guessing now if our opponent castles, we might either play knight or eventually go g3 or even this move. And I'm liking this sacrifice because of the potential it creates. What does the Engine think about this? It's bad. Maybe against a weaker opponent, this would scare them. But I would have to agree. If the Engine is saying it's this bad, I would have to agree. Once again, if you haven't already, please remember to subscribe on YouTube, or you can follow me on Twitch. All help me out. Thank you very much. Okay, good. So this is not... I mean, you know, when you play openings like the Scandinavian, when you see a -1 rate evaluation, you are like, this is fine. When you see a -1 evaluation, you are like, this is completely fine. Because like that's what the Scandinavian does, right? E4, D5, then the Engine is like, oh my god, you've messed up. Sorry? Yeah. And the Engine is like, oh my god, this is bad. Wait. No, you're supposed to give me like -9 when I play the Scandinavian. Anyways. Yeah, so in this case, so we go takes... Sorry, what was the correction we did here? We said knight first. Knight... Okay, bishop comes in, then we play knight first rather than bishop to this. We play knight first. Our opponent takes, and then we take. I don't know about this. I would rather like this pawn here. That's my opinion. I'd rather like this pawn here. But fine, we can do this. And then here. Then we have queen here. Right, queen d2 because of b4. So queen d2 is also fine here. Because now even if you go b4, it's not a big deal, right? We can just castle queenside. The tricky thing about the landing is that playing it perfectly as white still leads to plus or minus 0 given up. I would disagree. I think that when it comes to the landing, white always has the opportunity as compared to black. I think that's kind of like also the reason why people hit the landing. Of course, it does end up in a draw. You are very likely to end up in drawing positions, but I feel like white is the one who's actually playing for something. Black is just hoping for equality, and to get equality in that solid structure may take a while. So yeah, it's easy for a landing system game to end up in a draw, I would say. But I think that white is the one who is more or less playing for a win as compared to black. Again, my opinions may change, but I believe that's how I believe it. So yeah, this is the so okay, we could also go with the bishop plan if we still want to keep the bishop. But then maybe we might have to give up on that whole idea. So I'm looking at this kind of a funny plan with this. I'm looking aggressive. I'm looking aggressive. So let's say our opponent castles. Now we go this way. What does the engine think about this? Oh, not too bad. Oh, will it show? I think it won't show. Give me a second. It won't show properly. I don't think it'll show. Nah, I have to crop all these stuff. Maybe c4 is better. Okay, let me just consider all the bad moves first. Like, I know this idea is not what you want to do, but it's worth considering because minus 0.5 is not that bad. Minus 0.5 is not that bad. And I've left the engine for a while. Minus 0.5 is not that bad. It's really not that bad. The real question I want to ask is, what is the solid way in which black can play to neutralize a potential idea like this? That's what I would like to figure out from the engine. So if I'm facing a lower rated player, we'll try this line, but it's very risky, so we'll take our time with it. Okay, so we just want to get a basic framework of what we want to do. So do we so if we put the bishop here, then that aggressive idea is there. We can play the Jubava style. I don't want to play the Jubava style. It might be the best, but I don't want to play it. Then if takes queen here, we go this way. Okay, so it says black is slightly better. Zimbabwean watching in Qatar. Nice. Oh, it's good to have you around. I enjoy like as everyone is contributing and everything. It's good to see you. Chess unites us all. So that is, I don't even know what to say. I always run out of things to say. So queen here, and what does our opponent do? b6. Okay, so let's look at b6. Let's not give our opponent the easy. Let's castle here, and here we go h4. But again, c3. And now I'm beginning to feel uncomfortable with this. I feel like we like this whole c3. c3 is very solid. I don't think there are any problems with it. But now my knight is really struggling for squares. Exactly. If someone wants to attack in the flank, you play in the center. Exactly. I guess h4. I am not really enjoying c4, c3. C3 is I'm not liking c3. Like, now that I'm looking at the position, I know initially I said that c4 it's like I'm playing an IQP and I don't like it. I don't like the IQP idea. Legend, hey. I don't like the IQP. Like, there are some positions I don't like. Sometimes when I'm playing chess, there's an objectively good move, but the position that comes out of it, I don't think I can play it. I'll struggle with that position, so I'd rather not play that position. So sometimes, so for example, with this one, I'm trying to learn to play a positional game. Oh yeah, definitely. C4, when I started learning the, whatchamacallit, I started learning the, Carlsbad structure. When I started learning the Carlsbad structure, I started liking c4, right? But because it leads to these annoying Nimzo positions, that's why. Cool boy, what one move specifically? What if he castles? You're talking about when he castles here, right? When, let's say we play queen here. What if he castles? Bishop a6 is coming if I don't play c6, c3 to exchange. Oh, yeah. Okay, that's also, yes, that's also an issue. Yeah, true. Yeah, that's an issue that I skimmed out of. Yeah, so here, then we play, our opponent plays this, and he's pointing this out. Yeah, this is a common idea in the London, yes. Again, like I said, if you lose this guy, it's like you're losing your whole game. So pawn push, then if this happens, you come in this way. But now you can't castle. And it becomes very obvious your plan here. So here, I think white is not doing fine. I actually think white is not doing fine. Maybe it's not a good idea to start now, but this move is now looking scary. Because if you have to castle queenside, then this is not looking okay. And you need the bishop because most of your pawns are going to be on dark squares. That's annoying. You said that, can we castle? Let's see. Okay, after this, if our opponent plays b6, oh yeah, we can definitely castle for sure. We can definitely castle here. And definitely castle. It's just that we still kind of lose this guy, so still gotta pick your poison. Yeah, that's a very, yeah. Okay, I'm beginning to. Yeah, the bishop would definitely be exchanged. Oh, so these lines are not looking nice. These lines are not looking. It's beginning to make. It's beginning to make my desire to play this not so good. Wait, okay, so it's like the position is just drawn, or my opponent can just equalize immediately. Okay, so how about, okay, so then let's go for the line I don't want to play, which is knight here. It looks like this line is very troublesome. But I mean, how else would you improve if you don't play these obscure lines, right? I also just play bishop to g3, but I've been very interested in this. But it's like the more I look at it, the more I don't like it. So it's like, to make this any bit nice, I'm thinking that I should just find a way to make this work, right? I should just find a way to make this work. Just have to find a way to make this work. That's the only way this looks exciting to me, because everything just looks like, okay, we are just going to draw, right? So we want to play the knight. Okay, so we want to play the knight rather. Let's make the knight the main line. You have to get back to work. Oh, you want to, oh, sorry. But Friday is solely streamer versus viewers. It's solely streamer versus viewers. Let's look at these lines a bit more, and then we'll try and experiment the lines in viewer games. But thank you for being around. I really did appreciate like your contributions and everything. I really did like that. So I'll be streaming on Friday same time. There we'll have as many games as possible. Okay, so here queen comes in, and what's the difference here with b6? The same thing can happen, but the difference here is that I haven't wasted time in developing my bishop, right? And here castling queenside is very quick and easy. This move is not that big of a deal here, I think. Oh, guess what? In this position, the best move. I'm sure Starman has already guessed it, or anybody else watching. I've said it multiple times. Okay, so if our opponent takes, we play rook g1. What happens here? He goes h5. Then we go h3. Yeah, oh, knight e5 is like the straightforward working plan, right? Yeah. So we do this, and rather he should play bishop to b7. And we still go h4. Okay. Knight e5, we can block the position here. For here, I'll go knight e5. Problem is if my opponent goes knight c6. If my opponent castles here, then I'm going to go g4. For sure. But if he goes this way, g4 is not... Okay, actually, you can still play g4, right? But if he goes here, you can still play g4. Wait, what was the blunder? What's the blunder here? Oh, the queen is trapped. Okay. But what I was saying is that, like, you could still play g4. Because if he takes, you take, and this is a fork. And he's in trouble here. So he wouldn't play that. Okay. So, I mean, just so we can practice, I don't want to spend an hour analyzing this. So let's so we can practice. You can send a... I think the automatic QC is 5 plus 0. But you can send a 10 plus 0 challenge. And we'll try the line. Make sure you are black. Make sure you set it as black. Make sure you set it as black. So that I play as white. 10 plus 5. 10 plus 5. D4 is not working because of the fork. 95 can control the center, but it doesn't look like... What's my... Just click on that link, cool boy. Click on the link. It will send you to a challenge page. Basically just set it to 10 minutes. Set to 10 minutes with 10 minutes, and then you play as black. So that's basically... So we can try the lines. So I can try the line. Yeah, my blitz rating dropped by tons. Okay. Make it 5. Okay, let me send a challenge to him. Make it 5. 5 make it 10. Sorry, I said 5. Let me just send the challenge again. I'll play as white, casual, 10 plus 5. 10 plus 0, sorry. I'll play as white, casual. Okay, so I've sent it to you, Hitesh. I need it to be 10 minutes so that I can actually think. 5 minutes, I'll just be playing. So it should be on your screen, Hitesh. Unless, of course, you've sent another one, which is 10 minutes. Okay, yeah. Okay, that's mine. So, that's... Okay. Okay, so let's try this line out. Okay. How we deal with this. We're trying to get to the position we've mentioned so far. Hitesh is playing it in a different way. Okay. We can simply go this way. Though we didn't want to like go that way. Oh, he's not playing the line that we're looking for. We're actually trying to play a specific line, Hitesh, so that we could land that line. So this is basically not what I'm playing. Okay. Please, when you send a challenge, we want to try this specific line, so please stick to that line. Okay. Like at this point, playing that line just doesn't benefit me. So let's play bad chess. Oh, I should have just taken, right? Yeah, I should have just taken. Because I lose a pawn here. Oh boy. Oh, that's actually still another mistake. Yeah, I'm just making mistakes today. Like I said, when people have like question marks next to their names, it's possibly like they don't play that time control. Because you realize that modern day chess, people are mostly interested in like bullets and blitz. And also I'm playing very bad as well, so. Oh, he okay. What? Oh, that's it. Okay. Oof. That's a mistake. I can just trade and I'm winning. Yeah. I did not expect like that move. Wait, that just that's sometimes like the thing about chess. You may just make one mistake the whole game, and that can just sometimes just steamrolls into a loss. That's kind of like where it becomes. Ooh, okay. So we check and then we win the rook with check, and I think that's check. But please, like I want to play a specific line. So the line that we looked at, where you try and trade off the bishop, that's kind of like the line I'm looking for. So just to like reiterate, we are looking for this line. Of course, I understand. Like when you're playing, your opponent can play different lines. That's for sure. But we're just trying to do like this line, not like. What did he do? Yeah. I mean, the main point is that you should get the bishop here, then we should trade them off. You are new. Oh, okay, no problem. It comes with practice. You eventually get it. But you played very well. Especially like with taking advantage of some of the mistakes I made. Uh. Then I guess maybe I would have to. I have to be doing. Starman immediately goes sus. Leeches don't ban me. I've only done once. I don't do this. I've only done it once. Give me white and I'll be happy. Give me white and I'll be happy. Okay, good. Let's pray my opponent plays into the line I want. Okay, already we are looking good. Okay, we are not looking good. Do I do daily live streams? No, I stream. Yeah, my opponent is not going to do what I'm looking for. I stream Mondays, Tuesdays, and then Fridays. Okay. Is he trying to go this way? I don't know. Sure. Let's play a simple line. If he goes this way, that's fine. He's playing what I think I used to play, the kind of like the hedgehog. Not really the hedgehog, but kind of like the hedgehog. And forgotten how you kind of deal with this. I mean, any pawn push I make, he's going to lock up the structure. And if I recall, with the whole hedgehog thing, you keep your pawns on this file, on this rank, and you have to time when you play these pawn breaks. Well, I don't know if it's called the hippo. I don't know. What? Yeah, and I'm gonna try and brute force my way. Normally, you don't want to do this. Brute forcing your way is never the way. That's not the move. Yes, this guy is hanging, but this is a bigger hang. We can hold this guy. We have very nice position. I mean, you're going and coming up. Yeah, I mean, I want. Do I play this? No, I think this is the right one. Yeah, because it keeps the position locked. Might have to castle next move. I don't know if I want to castle next move or 2 moves after. Okay, I can castle now because of the move. Castling now is good. I'm wondering if he's going to play a set specific exactly. I was actually expecting that move at some point. Ooh, really? Easy thing my opponent just allowed. Okay. I actually wanted to bring my knight here because it targets these 2 squares. He's okay with allowing me to check his king. Why is he? I can jump back, attack the queen. That's a mistake. Like that's okay. Well, that was like, why would you like? Wow, that was crazy. Wow. What the hell was that? We are still not getting a line we want. We want to get real-time experience. Come on. Osterman, if you are not too busy, we can try 1. 10 plus. I mean, this move is just obvious. I was initially going to play this, but then I realized that my opponent can just hide and then that's about it. So I decided to go this way, threaten threaten the queen. Regardless of where the queen goes, then I have check here to win this guy. That's kind of like what I was. But unfortunately, that is not what happened. That's funny. But this opening was very funny. I decided to brute force my way and my opponent allowed it to work, which is interesting. I don't think this is what you normally want to do. But normally what you want to do. It sucks. I really want to just get that position. I just play against the engine. Kind of sucks. Okay, let's go back into the steady. Maybe we'll, I don't know. Oh boy. But the sad thing about this opening is how it seems to just easily fizzle out. Why is it going e4? The way it easily fizzles out, I don't like it. Yeah, so this is the main line we are looking at. I don't like the way. So we, instead of this, we are looking at queen. Queen d2. Our opponent comes here. We said that's a mistake, so they shouldn't do that. Line, specific move orders, right? You playing specific moves. That's a line, right? So there are many different. You can call them variations, right? Different move orders of an opening, right? So when I talk about line, it's a specific set of moves, a specific move order, right? With every opening there are variations to it, and there are variations to the move order, but a specific line is basically what we are looking at. That one specific line in all those variations is what we are looking at. So mostly when you are learning an opening, you have to learn the main line, right? The default or the objective structure of that opening. And once you learn the objective structure, the plans that come with that structure, so on and so forth, then you can begin to master it. So there's always a default structure or a default line of every opening. And once you study that, then study the variations. Right, so again, my move order may be wrong here, but the main line of the landing in olden days it was knight first, but more because of this move, people stopped playing knight first. But you would get this here, bishop c4, e3, knight here, c3. This is not a correct move order, but it's something like this. Here, castles. So this is the line. So if you are studying the landing, this is the main line, right? This is the main line, and from this line, you get to understand the ideas, the landing. You understand? Oh, that's great. That's great. Yeah. So this is where you start your study from. So now you study the various plans that come up. So c4 is a plan, but it's not considered a good plan. Rook here with pawn push is a plan. So to stop that, you kind of want to go like knight here. The ideas of you going e4, e5. There are ideas of h4, h5. The ideas of queen here, e4, e5. The ideas of castles here, e4, e5. There's knight here with f4. You learn all those lines and they begin to add up. So when you start learning the variations of the exact same opening, for example, the Jobava landing, these ideas kind of translate into the position you're looking at. So let's say here, 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 castles, the same ideas kind of translate into the position. Because if you get a knight here, there is f4. You can still aim for e4, e5. That's the point of understanding the main line. Right? So that's what you have to do. Why does this thing keep starting from e4? Oh, it is the Sicilian line. Okay, sorry. Okay. Yeah, so basically what I'm trying to do is I'm trying to understand, I'm trying to practice this specific line in the London system. It's considered very positional and very drawish. So I kind of like want to figure it out and see what are the interesting things that can come out of it. And right now, like off stream, one of the lines I'm really going to experiment on is if my opponent castles with this move. I'm really going to experiment on it. I know the engine says it's bad, but it's really something I'm going to look at, because minus what? -5 is not that big of a deal. -5 is not that big of a deal. So it means that there's something there, right? So I'm going to look at that line. It's one of the interesting things. I like studying bad lines. For example, with this, sometimes your opponents go this way. Here, then they go queen. No. Some go bishop first, but what's there? How they actually play this thing? Here, some of them go queen. Knight jumps in here. No, there's something I'm missing here. I think it's queen. I think it's bishop first. Knight jumps in. Knight jumps in. Defense. Queen here. Pawn push. Takes. This is another line I've also been experimenting on. Yeah, and I don't think that I think I'm messing up the move order. Because this bishop is not here. Mostly they respond this way. Let me confirm it. Let me remember it. I think it's here. Takes. Pawn push. How did they play the Eggland Gambit? Here. Queen comes in. I think it's here. Knight takes, queen takes, pawn push. I think. I don't. Yeah. Okay, but let's just look at the line a little bit more. So, this is the idea we're looking at, and it says that in this position, what does our opponent play? B6, and we said B6 might be that he wants to trade a bishop. So the reason why I'm looking at not playing the bishop here, which is instantly a draw, is now we can play this move. So if our opponent tries coming in here, then we have a very good chance with this move. Though maybe taking is just fine here. So here we castle queenside. Okay, that was actually the line. Here we castle queenside, sorry. Promote mainland, yeah. Here we castle queenside. Bishop to b7. And now we go h4. So this is the line. Let's make all this the main line. And the reason we're making this the main line is because what we started with is we started experimenting with bishop here. We started experimenting with bishop here, but we began to see that it kind of stops the whole plan, right? For example, knight here takes, queen here, queen d2 here, and c3 is the move. But we begin to see how like passive the position becomes, because yeah, white is already in trouble here. White is very slow here. So this is kind of like why we are abandoning playing the bishop here. There might be something about it, but we are abandoning it. Let me delete the other lines. My stream is lagging. Oh, my engine is on. Sorry, my engine is on. That's the problem. Yeah. So let's delete the other lines that are not part of what we are studying. C4 is not part of what we are studying. Bishop f5 here is not part of what we are studying. What about this one? Yeah, we've said this line is bad. We don't like this line. Knight jumps in like a Jubava. If our opponent takes, we play this. I want to just delete the lines that we aren't actually considering. This is also another line we're not considering. We are not considering this line. So I'll leave the study up if you guys are interested in looking at it. Except I'm not going to make you guys able to change the lines, but you can just look at it. B6 and so not B6 here. Okay, B6 can be played here, right? Yeah, B6 can be played here. Queen D6 can be played here. So we are looking at those lines as well. Now it's good and smooth, thanks. So we are looking at this, the first line we are experimenting on with this. And then here our opponent plays B6. What is G3 here? No, we said g3 is not good here. After our opponent plays b6, that's when we want to play this move. So we'll take here. So we are looking. This is what I'm going to consider as our main line. Queen b4 here, it doesn't work in this variation. Castles here works, so we'll look at castles instead of b6. So here there are two moves our opponent can play. We castle queenside here, then they play this move. G3 here. We could play G3 here, but I don't think it's necessary. Until maybe our opponent plays like here or something. And you can one of the things I'm noticing about this whole opening is that you, even though like you have the bishop, you may even just want to trade off the bishop. And it's just knights and queens and rooks. Right, so if your opponent plays here, you might even just want to play here. Force your opponent's knights on the rim. Right? So it's looking. Here c5 is a move he can play, but we don't think it's good. Castles he can play. So okay, we'll just delete here. So let's look at what's our main line. Our main line is d4, d5. Again, it could happen in different orders, but it's still completely fine. We'll eventually get to the same position, though we have to be mindful of the move orders a bit. E3, e6, knight f3 is what we are going with here. We don't want to go here because our opponent can pin us, and we are leaving that leeway so that if our opponent does, for example, pin us, after we go this way, if he does pin us, it's not good for him, because we come in here and we develop with tempo, right? So I think that is good. So we don't play knight e3 here. Delete. Knight, bishop, and now we jump in. Because now if you change your mind here, it's just an advantage of development for us. And then here. So here we know that there are two lines, which is he could play this here or he could play this here, which is all good. Castles, bishop comes in, and then we play. So this is the main line that we have gotten up to. My problem with h4 is that it may discourage our opponent, and he may do something like this. Let's just look at this line briefly. h5 and castles queens. That is, I'm trying to say, like, if we point out to our opponent that we are instantly coming for him, what could he do? We'll go this way. Our opponent cannot take here. Taking here is just a fork, right? The opponent cannot take here. What would he do? Queen to e7 or queen to f8. So here or here. I think he would more or less go here to defend this, and at the same time to keep the development of his rooks. And how do we progress? How do we make our opponent's position worse here? Where is the advantage? It's not that big of an advantage. Wait. Oh wait, so not knight e5, but knight b5 threatening this square. Huh. Okay. Knight e5 though is also fine, but I think if you can get knight b5, that may be. Let's just see what knight b5 does. The same queen e7. Do we just take? And he can't stop you from running away. Okay. So just pop in and pop out. You can even try and get this idea in. Of course, the queen can stop you, but you begin to see that there's an idea here and there's an idea here. So if anything at all, let's just make a random move here. We do have this idea, targeting this, forcing our opponent to weaken his structure even more. c6 is just the weak. Sorry, c here is just a weakening of your structure. So knight b5 is the move here. So instead of, so we can delete this. Let's make knight b5 the main line first. Delete knight e5, and then we go from here. So yeah, so that is why he won't want to castle queenside here. After he has seen h5, he won't want to castle queenside. So what would be his best response? He would rather go knight e5. I think we'll trade off here. Takes, and then we go knight e5, right? Yeah. So this would be the main line. Okay. It's like we are making our own opening, but it's already existed. There's so much more experimentation and testing that I would have to do. Right now, I'm using my understanding of chess to predict what my opponent to do. Even though the engine is making the suggestions, I'm trying to think like how somebody of my like level would think, and trying to suggest moves to that. So, like for example, with the move I played, the game I played against Cool Boy, he could have, like, if my opponent does this, is that like plausible? Those kinds of things. Like there's other moves that I haven't considered. That's why like active playing is good, but you just want to try out the main lines and see what you want to do. So h4 h5 here, knight jumps in, we take, he takes, and then we go in here, and the move here is f6. Then we simply just go to c4, or we go to g4, but c4 is considered best. So these are the two possibilities. Yeah, we had to consider castles because we don't know what our opponent is going to do. I hope I didn't promote it into the main line. No, I didn't want to make this the main line. Come on, where's the main line? I take, yeah, this is the main line. This line, I want to delete it. Sorry, c5 is what I want to delete. Okay. So what we see here is that after knight e4, if our opponent did what? No, not here. If in this position our opponent castles queen side, we know that this is the move we want to go for. Sorry, why do I keep making this mistake? Is knight b5 we want to go for, not knight e4. We know this is where we want to go, because it forces the queen out. We take, and then we simply come back, and then we have the ability to launch an attack on our opponent. Good. So that's one. What's the next one? So takes, and then here, then he plays. So now we can continue. I want to just do 15 lines in each variation and see what the difference is. And sometimes this is the kind of work you'd have to put in if you want to like master your openings and master your middle game understanding of games. You have to go through these processes, ask yourself questions. What are the potentials of my opponents? What are potential plays my opponent can make? Those kind of things, right? That's basically how I kind of want to think about the position. And in doing this, you become much more knowledgeable about the opening than your opponent. So what that means is that you may more or less come out of the opening much better than your opponent. So here. So these are the two possible that we're going to go to. I don't know. This is a tempo move, so I'm more or less drawn to the tempo move. But I don't know, because I'm looking at this move with the ideas of this coming in. Right? Amelia, how you doing? Ninja Lion 2, how you doing? Good to see you guys. Welcome to the stream. I'm good. Yeah, back. Welcome back. It's good to see you again. Yeah, so I don't know. Maybe this is just better. Who knows? Kind of wondering when this bishop is going to get freed though. There may be a future with this move, or even here, I'm sure there's ideas. For example, if our opponent castles here, I think we just go g4. h6 first. What? It said h6. Oh wait, we just take the queen. Sorry, let's do this. Let's let the queen go. Let's play this move. Just subtle. And let's see if our opponent castles kingside, what happens. We just go g4, right? We go h6 again, h6 first. g6, and then we go g5, right? We still don't go g5. We don't go this way. Interesting. Thanks for the follow, Emilia. Thanks for the follow. Okay, so let's look at the other side. Let's look at what we haven't looked at yet. Oh, I'm talking to a bot. Come on. Yeah, so instead of my opponent coming in with the queen, what if they played this move first? Agents like we should go h4. Then we get c5. Yeah, he can go queenside. Yes. We can go queenside for sure. He can go queenside. He can go queenside. c5. Okay, then let's look at that. He definitely can go queenside. He's not forced to go kingside. You stopped also. I didn't see it. Ninja Lion, if you play this line that we are recommended, we are learning here, then I can accept that challenge. But if you just want like play this thing, that'll be, because we're trying to focus on the opening that is being discussed here. So I'll take the challenges where like we can play a 10 plus 0, but you'd have to choose black and would have to just get into this specific main line. Let's go back. We are trying to look at this line in particular, right? We want to get into this position where you've traded up the bishop for this one. If you can do that, I would definitely play with. I would consider taking on d7 on that line. Okay, now I'm mixed up with the line. But let's look at the first thing you mentioned, Shaki. Let's look at the first thing you mentioned. Where was the castles? Here, right? No, it wasn't here. These are different castles. Here. Yeah. So yeah, he definitely doesn't have to castle kingside. He can always go queenside, right? But I was trying to evaluate whether it's going to be dangerous for him to castle kingside, right? That's what I was evaluating. So I was like, okay, if I play this, if he castles kingside? Is it good for me? Like, do I have a quick attack? But of course, definitely he can go this way. There's no doubt about it. So we can just look at that. Oh, sorry about that. Putting pressure here. If my opponent comes in here, we go back and now we have this. But I don't think that's a good square. Do we just go h4, h5? Yeah, Ninja Lion, like, but I hope you heard what I said. Because, like, if we aren't going to play that line, then I'm not, like, I don't want to play that kind of challenge. But it's on Friday that it's normal viewers challenge. But I want us to learn this. So, on the condition you play that, I will accept the challenge. That's basically, I just want us to get that on the way. But if that's not the case, then I'll just resign the moment I see that you're not playing the line. Whoa, Owls! Thanks for the I just turned and I saw it. I'm using Restream IO, so I don't hear the notifications. Thanks, Owls. Thanks for the raid. I do appreciate it. Good to have you here. Everyone, welcome. Owls Plays Chess. Good to have you. We are basically doing a steady stream, and I'm trying to learn. I play the London system, and I'm trying to look at a very unpopular line, which is this move, right? This line. I'm trying to learn it and see the interesting lines that can come out of it. So if you are here to study as well, welcome. I hope you guys enjoyed the great stream. Owls, how you doing? Good to see you. How was your stream? Okay, so let me check this. If he doesn't play the line, I'm simply not going to play. That's because I just want to play I just want to learn the line. All good, nice. You don't know why I would play the London system? Well, it's quite simple. Apart from the lines being easy to learn, you put yourself in a solid position, right? I like solid positions. I don't like the positions where my opponent can turn the game into a tactical stuff, right? I don't like those kind of like tactical positions. I prefer very straightforward positions, right? So yeah, that's one of the reasons why I like the London system. Number two is sometimes the aggressive positions you can get are like crazy. Yeah, it's not easy getting an advantage with what do you call it? With this specific line that I'm trying to go for. It's not easy getting an advantage there, but I mean it's still plausible. Yes, and true. The London has been analyzed today. Come on, Lion. This is not the line. I'm not taking like viewer challenges like I usually do. We are trying to focus on a specific line. So if we are not playing that line, then that's not what I'm trying to do today. That's why I was asking, like, can you please accept that first before the challenge comes in? We are just trying to focus on this today. It's on Friday that like I'm just taking any games, right? But Shaki, I have a very good I have a very good I have very good results with the landing system. So despite its simplicity and yes, it's been analyzed to death and all that kind of stuff, I like the positions that come out of it. I like how solid it is. And all that kind of stuff. Welcome. Tirumala. Welcome. But yeah, what I am agreeing with you on it. Why is it doing this? What I am agreeing on you on with is that this line in particular I think is very drawish. But the other lines, for example, the Jobava landing, let's use this. The Jobava landing, they actually don't have that. Sorry, knight first, yes. Knight comes in, bishop. The Jobava landing, it's actually quite a rich position, I think. I think the positions that come out of it are quite nice. There are times your opponent plays this. I think sometimes they do play c5. Then you can go this way with this. I do like these lines. They are very like interesting. I don't know. Are people not hearing what I'm saying? Oh boy. Like, okay, well, it's fine. But that's basically let's try and I don't know how I'll get boy. But sincerely, I just want to practice that line, right? Like everybody wants to play their own openings, and it's like that's not what I want to do today. Yeah, but Lion, I'm playing you on the condition that we are playing the lines being studied. That's what I want you to understand. Like if you deviate from that line, I'm not actually interested in that game. That's my point. I'm not doing streamer versus viewers today. That's on Friday. So like if you played that line, I would definitely play against you. But if the moment you are deviating, I'm just going to like, it's black. Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness. The woes of a streamer. Everybody wants what they want. Knowing that would be fine. But watching paint dry is more fun than either side of the landing. I completely disagree. I think they are much more boring openings than the landing system, right? They are much more boring openings. Even those who go like c4, like this. Let's even switch it up a bit. Like, let's even go this way. Let's go this way. Let's go this way. Right? Even this is very like, is it this? Yeah, these openings, these are just boring. And at this point, it's not even confirmed that I'm playing a landing system. I think there's much. I think the landings hate is unwarranted. To be frank, I think the landings hate is unwarranted, and I don't know why it has. I don't know where the whole hatred for the landing system came from. I think people just hated. I don't get it. I sincerely I don't know where the hatred for the landing came from. I don't know. Well. Okay. Let's see if we can get one while playing. Because I really just want to play the specific line. Nope. But leeches, I'm trying to do something. Don't block me. Don't block me. If I don't get white next game, I might just call it quit. I mean, yes, but it doesn't mean that the person who plays it doesn't play at that openings, right? I mean, there may be reasons why you'd want to play. So I don't get like The hate just doesn't make any. It just doesn't. Hey, what's up, Ojoaka? People just robotically play the same. I think that's wrong. I actually disagree with that. Like, I think just randomly playing the landing moves without thinking and considering things, I think that's just off. You don't want to play robotically. I think there are many different nuances that you can do. Yeah, Kojoaka. So what I want us to do is I want you to look at this line. I hope like you would hear this one, but I went to practice for mistake. I want us to do this. You can't really you can transpose into quite a number of things. For example, you can do. You can. I mean, with the London system, I've been able to play Queen's Gambit. You can play English because you see similar structures, especially if you play these Carlsbad lines in the. Let's look at this. Let me defend the London a bit, right? When your opponent, like for example, tries to copy you with the London system, you can transpose into these kind of lines, right? Like I said, Carlsbad structure. Okay, this is not a Carlsbad structure, but you get the point. Sorry, here again, this line is what I'm talking about. You can transpose into a Carlsbad structure. Here it looks like a Jubava landing for sure, but it does have that. You have these what do you call it? Let's say knight here. This you can play this, right? All these different things that people don't consider this as bad as the landing, but it's just one move difference, right? It's not that big of a deal. So I don't know where the landing gets its age from. But I mean, what keeps me at ease is that Magnus spoke in favor of the landing. So anything anybody says is now bankrupt. So Kojoaka, if you are still around, I want to go through this line. Right, so if you are free, Kojoaka, if you are free, what we want to do is this. We want to go for this line. Sorry, I want to play as white. So you can send a challenge, but make sure that you are playing as black. Then we want to play this line where we trade off the bishop in the landing system, and we want to like try and see what we can do here. I mean, from this point you can do whatever you want, but what we want is the trade of the bishops. So, I mean, if there's anyone who would actually adhere to that, if there's anyone who would actually adhere to that rule, that is, I will accept your challenge, right? But if we are playing it, then you are deviating from the line and trying to play your own thing, then I'll just resign from that point. So, I just want us to focus on this line. I have to find that video. Magnus spoke in defense of the landing that it's a pretty good opening, and that its hate is unwarranted. I think everybody agrees that the landing's hatred is unwarranted. But I think it's just a fun thing that chess players do because there's nothing else fun to do in chess than to laugh at an open. Oh boy. But basically that's the line we are looking at. And Shaki, if you put your heart at ease, I don't only play the landing. I play a plethora of openings. I play the King's Indian defense as white and as black. I play the Italian. On occasion, I play the Rui Lopez. I can try to play I've not learned the English, but I can try to play the English. And yeah. What other white openings do I play? Collie Zucatwort. So if that puts your heart at ease, yes, I play different openings. But I do just love the landing system. Despite all its hate, all the hate on it. Yeah, so we've basically done a whole lot of work on this line, and we just want to try and practice it and see what like are the difference of opinions based on our opponent's move. But the most annoying part is that we are not getting the games. We've gone through this whole process, but we are the point. What I want, what I want is to play the games. That's what I'm not getting. I'm not getting the games in the specific structure. Or Shaki, are you interested in playing? Okay, so basically it's d4, d5, bishop f4, knight f6, e3, e6, knight f3, bishop d6, knight c3, and then takes. So basically pawn, bishop knight, pawn, Knight bishop, knight takes t. That's basically. And from this point, you can let your skills speak. As in, like, you can just play anything from this point. This is the point I want us to get to before you can now start doing anything. Because playing like this move just prevents it. I want white. Yeah, I want white. I want to kind of try this line. Yeah. I want white here. So d4, d5, bishop f4, knight f6, e3, e6, knight f3, bishop d6, knight c3, takes. And from this point, feel free to play whatever you want. If you want to go and sacrifice this pawn, feel free. The link is this. This is the link. Oh wait, there's a way I could have done that, right? There's a way I could have set like an arena or something, or like a symbol or something with a specific position. I think there's something like I have to figure that out so that when people send a challenge, they don't deviate from the line. I think that's the way to make it work. I have to figure out. So, are you ready? Or anyone who is willing to go through that line. I know people don't like the landing. Let's go through that. Please. Oh boy. I should use the board editor to do that. That one I would have to challenge the PC. Let's play with the PC. We have this. Just okay, so you can send the challenge. I think it's like this. It's white to okay, Kojoaka is that him? Supposed to be casual. Casual 10 plus 0. Just waiting for that challenge. ZVI KMOK. Please like resend it as a what do you call it? 10 plus 0 casual. Okay, I've got one here. So let's go. So d4, d5. Bishop f4. Knight f6. E3, e6. The whole point is that like you are trying to look outside of this. But ZV, if you do still want to send a challenge, you can do that. I'll play you after. Master Chess, thanks for the follow. Okay, so now after knight here, bishop to d6. TKB, how you doing? There's a fly in the chat? Ow. Okay. Who is a fly? Master Chess Dojo? And now we trade off the bishops. Okay. Great. So now you can freestyle. So now whatever you want to do from this point on. This is the position I wanted us to get to. So now let's see how it goes. So ZV, okay, you made it casual. So once I'm done with Sicilian Ninja, I'll accept yours as well. But please, let's go through the exact same lines. DKB, how you doing? Like, when do you stream? I want to catch your streams. It's been a while I've caught your streams live. Okay, so he castles here. Oh, since he's castling, let's go for that line. Okay, it's Vico. I'll take a challenge after this. It's a random okay. So what? So sometimes early, sometimes late. Okay, I have to be vigilant then. So what we were learning was we want to play this, possibly castle queen side. But I want to kind of like try this. Like I said, I want to make this exciting. So Shaki, you see? You see? We are trying interesting stuff in the London, right? In the London. So, I mean, putting 2 and 2 together, if my opponent plays this, right? If my opponent plays this, then I would have to play the same queen d2 because we will realize that this is an issue, right? Someone beats me 3-0 and I play the London, you beat the crap out of him. I hope it was online. I hope he didn't beat the crap out of him over the board. The best opening is the London. I mean, its hatred tells you how. You know, when you're in school, the smart students who are always answering the questions, everybody hates them. That's exactly what the London system is. Everybody hates the London system because it's good. You stream between 11 and 3 p.m. ish. What time zone are you? GMT +1, okay. So let me keep that. 11 a.m. to 3. To be frank, I'm okay playing this move. Shaki, where are you? Don't go into hiding now that the London system is interesting. Don't go, come back. Again, I could be in a very bad position because I've not castled and my king is in the center. And my king is not safe. If the landing is not interesting for people, I will make it interesting. That's why I'm making all these crazy lines. Because I want to make the landing system interesting so that people can stop arguing about it. We know it's good. We just need the world to accept it. Zviko, hold on, okay? I will definitely get to the challenge. Ooh, okay, this is actually an interesting one. Is there like a possibility of me sacrifice? Okay, I thought I was considering if he plays rook, queen takes, I could sacrifice. But maybe I'm wrong. I currently see a problem with my position. See a problem with my position. So when we are done with the 2 games, then we'll analyze them. Then we can end the stream off there. The issue was he could play G6 and now this guy is hanging. But with this move, he kind of hints at what he's going to try and play. Like, I don't know if playing here will force a reaction from my... But like if I play here, what's the move? He can play bishop. Takes, he could play knight, rook take. Pawn takes is also viable. I'll play it. But for example, if we can get takes, check, king comes in here, knight jumps. That's a very nice. Castle, yeah, I should definitely castle for sure. Well played. Thanks. Chess master. Anonymous chess master. I know it's anonymous, but that's like a funny way of speaking. And now we can castle. I'm wondering about some other moves. I still don't think I think I'm in a very bad position. I don't know. Maybe not very bad, but I think I'm in a bad position. If I can actually see what my opponent is gonna play. Well, if I'm actually correct in my... Oh, wait. I think I'm underestimating my position. That's a free knight. It's Vito. If you are ready to play the line, we can do that. I was thinking that he had this move. I was thinking that I had this when I realized, oh wait, the queen leaves the defense. That's when I was like, wait, I'm underestimating my position. I was really hoping, I was really praying he doesn't play this move. Yeah, GG, well played. I was sincerely hoping that he wouldn't play this move because that solves the whole problem. What I noticed was that after he plays pawn takes, my queen now joins the defense of this square. So I was happy to see that, but then I was like, oh wait, what if he comes in this way? And I was like, oh, then takes, maybe he has pressure on my side. So Vito, we are playing a specific line, okay? I'm playing as black. Okay, good. So d4, d5. I can just walk you through the line. Then when we get to the important point, just can just switch from there. So d4, d5. We're trying to play a specific line. D4, d5. Bishop, knight. E3, e6. Yeah. The point is to get that specific line. Of course, there are many ways to get to that line, but I want to just keep what we've looked at so far and see if there's potential. Very nice. Thank you, Vito. Vito, thank you so much. Appreciate that. Here we play e6. Okay, knight is also fine. Knight is a move that could be played, and it doesn't stop the whole idea because we're just looking at bishop coming in here still. With this line, I think I just go there. So with this one, we are still okay. I'm waiting for him to play e6. Very nice. Then here, then we go bishop. Okay, we can still play this line. So far so good. But if it deviates completely for the line, because what I'm looking for is we get this trade out, and that's what's going to make everything make sense. There's an instant move here, but it doesn't work because the guy just comes in. So we'll just play this. And Vito, please, we want to. Vito, I'm trying to play a specific line. I'm trying to play a specific line. I'm not playing viewers like the normal like streamer playing viewers. I'm trying to play a specific line. Everything was fine until he came here. Okay. Because now best moves begin to change, right? You know what? Red Dragons, how are you doing? Good to see you. Okay. I guess I might have to do this off stream. I'm not getting I'm not getting the kind of interaction now. So we'll just have to like end it here. Guys, thank you so much. I also appreciate that people did try. I'm not against them trying. I just wish like we would play the specific line. If you haven't already, you can join the Discord. You can follow me on Twitch, or you can subscribe to the YouTube channel. Was it good enough? Yeah, it was. Actually, before I go, maybe I should look at the game with you guys, because that's the point of this stream. We are trying to learn together. So we can look at it. I don't think the line I played was actually good. But we can look at it briefly. Briefly. The line I don't think I played was very good, but we can look at it briefly. Then I'll just end up the stream from there. Because I mentioned the stream is ending, everybody just dropped out, but that's fine. So let's get to the main point here. So here you castle, which is like not bad. This move I played is quite wrong. Oh, it's not that bad here. B6, I go E4 here, and after this I traded off, then I jumped my knight in. So this is an equalish position according to the engine. And here you should have instantly gone like knight c6 according to what the engine is saying, trying to give me a reason to trade. We are looking at the double pawns, hence pawn takes instead of rook. I get what you're talking about. Yeah, you wanted to fix the double pawn structure, but that's the thing sometimes about chess, right? You should look at what the benefits, what the pros and cons of each move are. And again, I don't think it was completely wrong. I don't think that move was completely let's go to that position, for example. Here I think you could just simply come back. I think you just simply come back here. This is a move that makes me think, right? Of course, I would have to play this first so that when you take, I'm threatening checkmate. Wait, it says rook there is bad. Wait, takes, castles queenside. Okay, it's already bad, yes, but as in after castling here, coming this way is also a very good idea that you can, right? Wait, so is that actually just bad? No, here takes, yeah, pawn takes is actually bad. And what I would say for why pawn takes is bad is because my queen joins the defense. And I think that's why. So yeah, it's very easy to say my pawns are doubled, I want to fix my pawn structure, but sometimes it's not necessary and it may be a worse idea. So that's the kind of exceptions of chess. You have to go with the flow. Don't be too, my pawns have doubled, I have to fix them. if you do that, you are going to make quite like very bad decisions sometimes. You have to get comfortable with the bad position, right? Yeah. So from this point, what I realized is that at first my big issue was the fact that knight here was a possibility at some point, right? Not here, but at some point I did worry about this move, because it challenges my knight and maybe I would have to trade off or something. I wasn't so sure about it. So after this move, I realized that now the knight can't come in, right? So I was okay then. Yeah. So we are okay from, okay, so here, then maybe you jump in here immediately. Try and put the question to me. I think here because you double attack this rather than here. And I have to make a decision. So maybe this way is a move I could make. And if you were to take here, I would definitely take with this pawn. Okay. And since black is slightly better. So maybe c3 is not the move, but rather just taking. Okay, no, c3 is actually just fine. But you have to take with the e pawn, sorry, and allow this idea. Yeah, that's great. So yeah, it wasn't a bad I'll turn off the engine, sorry. It wasn't a bad line. I was thinking that maybe I was overdoing it by playing rook h1, rook to g1, but it actually makes sense. So if my opponent does castle immediately, rook g1 is actually a... We didn't calculate rook g1 here. We calculated rook g1 in a different line where if our opponent, for example, went here, we go here, b6, knight jumps in, castles g4. Where we're considering this. Sorry, knight here, g4. This is what we're looking at. And if our opponent takes, which is wrong, I'm just trying to explain something here that would have this idea. That's basically how we calculate. So this was just me kind of like freestyling, and it seems to make sense. So yes, I have debunked Shaki. Shaki, I have debunked you. Come and defend yourself. I'm a London defender. If this stream ever becomes, if this channel ever becomes popular, note that the London system is going to become more popular. So guys, I'll see you guys on Friday. Friday is streamer versus viewers. That one, you play whatever you want, and that's fine. Today was a steady stream, so I was trying to like learn a specific line, and we'll all learn it and like work through it together. But unfortunately, I wasn't getting those specific games. But maybe next time. Thank you guys so much. Let's do this often. Yeah, I'll do this every Tuesdays. Right now, Mondays is ELO grinding. Tuesdays is a steady stream. We can study anything, right? So if maybe as I'm studying, somebody is interested in learning something, I can break and learn it, right? But mostly I'll be learning my openings and then end games. I think I'm very okay. I mean, I'm decent, I think, with the middle games. So I wouldn't focus so much on the middle. But if anyone is interested in like middle game strategy, middle game planning, you can just let us know, and then maybe every stream will tackle a specific topic. So whenever you see your topic on the title, then so that yeah, today we're on your topic. Okay, guys, have a great rest of your day. I'll see you on Friday. And also another reminder: if you're in Ghana, there's a tournament happening from the 2nd, I think, to the 5th of August for the President's Cup. It's one of like Ghana's strongest tournaments. People from outside the country come. So people with more than 2100, 2200 do come in sometimes to play. I will be playing in that tournament. So this year I'll be playing 2 tournaments over the board. If you're in Ghana, try and register and play in the tournament. I mean, we'll meet ourselves there for sure, but then it will help you boost your skill level. I realize that over the board training is like steroids. It really boosts your chess training. And I will do recaps of my games. So if you're interested in that, subscribe to the channel. And from the 2nd to the 5th of August, I will be playing in tournaments. There are other tournaments that are going to come up, which I won't be playing in, but I will be doing coverage for on this channel. So if you are an African and you're interested in these type of coverages, you can also subscribe or follow the channel. It really does help me out. I have been Pen Mason, and I'll see you guys on Friday. Have a great rest of your day.